Hello, hello, it's the one and only. Welcome to 5D Transformations. And in this video, we're going to talk about some dating and relationship information. I have a page that's dedicated a lot more to the dating and attraction element. I talk about some relationship stuff on there as well, how to navigate the dating game and, do it in a way where you find the person you're looking for. You're not ending up in messed up situations, and honestly, it just gives different aspects to understand masculine and feminine energy. So, if you want to harness more masculine energy and be strategic with that for the guys out there or the ladies that want to tap more into that masculine energy, you could do that. Same thing with feminine energy. You learn how they work together. And it's all about shedding perspective and awareness. I'm a guy, so I say a lot of things from the guy perspective. But I think it's important for a woman to understand the perspective of men. Um, and as time has come on, I try to really speak to both parties. Like my dating course, I try to do that as well. Throughout the whole dating relationship course, I'm teaching both sides. And I think it's just so powerful when you're a man, for example, that understands, some of the pain points that women have. And then when you're a woman that understands the pain points that the masculine energy side has, it allows you to have more awareness and you get to be an even better mate for whoever you desire because you have more awareness. So in this case, what I wanted to do is touch a little bit more on the family element, though, like the date, like the relationships aspect, because I have been in a relationship for 8 years, so it's something that I'm very familiar with, and I like to shed light on how to maintain a relationship and do it your way. Because I'm not, I like to do things in a way that doesn't just have to be traditional. I think everyone um, we've been so programmed to look at relationships in one fixed way. This is how it's supposed to be. You have kids, family, blah, 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 house. And it's like, no, the reality is that's not the way it is. That's just an ideal. And I try to deal with real life stuff and open ourselves to more perspectives. Like we've been programmed to just think it's this one way. It's so many other ways. And when you understand that there's more options on how you can have a good relationship, you realize that, it's actually a very creative process that you can have with somebody as your partner versus this rigid process that I think it can be sometimes. So now, this is something that's very important to know. You know what I mean when it comes to being out there in relationships. You know, and the reality is your partner is going to treat you how you treat yourself, and that's very important. And one thing I notice in relationships where a partner can start getting very disrespected. Sometimes the partner can say very foul things to the person that they're dealing with. A lot of the people I work with have been in abusive relationships, whether that's just mentally, in some cases physically. And so, in these scenarios, on one level, we know that it doesn't matter what is going on. It's never right to be, abusing your partner emotionally or mentally or physically. But at the same time, I want to ask you a question, and because I'm all about triggering that empowerment within you. And the only way you can control your situation and change it is by first recognizing that you can change it, right? Is recognizing that you actually can, you know, create an effect in your inner world powerful enough to where you can shift. And so I put a lot of that onto you to ask yourself, whenever your partner is being disrespectful toward you, if you have been in that dynamic, a lot of it is because to some degree you allowed it. Okay. Because, and it's not to, look at the person that is a victim and try to, uh, be mean to them or anything like that, or try to accuse them. But a lot of the time, people will treat us the way that we feel we deserve to be treated. And, the only way you can get so deep and low in a dark place with someone, with all the negativity they've done. I've really heard stories of people doing some really messed up things. You also got to keep in mind, like, you have to always be willing to put yourself first. You got to be willing to leave. And I think that's where people have the hardest time. When it's time to really leave that toxic situation, that's when the emotional attachment kicks in, the years, the experiences. I don't know where I'm going to go next. But all those things that stop you from leaving that situation is what empowers the abuser, because they know that, oh, so I just did XYZ and they still didn't leave. So now they're conditioning from what they're seeing that I can do this and the person's not going to leave. So now the level of disrespect increases. And so that's why it is so important. And I teach this in the narcissism information in that course as well, that you got to be willing to leave a situation the minute you get disrespected. And this applies to dating as well. When you're out there in the dating world, there's never any reason to disrespect anybody or to be disrespected. It's all about fun, communication, vibing, and seeing if you have an authentic connection. And there's no room to be disrespected. And that's why a big deal of what I teach is about self-empowerment and loving yourself and really thinking highly of yourself, because to the higher degree that you value yourself is to the higher degree that someone else can value you. So I'm going to delve more into this, but I want you to really think about that. You know, you want to make sure that before you're going out there dating or dealing in relationships, or if you're in a toxic relationship, I just want you to understand the only way out is you, meaning you're your only way out. You have to choose yourself. If you choose you, you know, you'll always win. But if you sacrifice yourself, and don't get me wrong, sacrificing is what relationships are about. But if you're sacrificing for your partner, you want to make sure they're sacrificing for you. But one thing that I always, sacrificing or not, we put this in a separate box, which is respect. There always has to be a level of respect there. We can never be veering too far out of the realm of respect for one another, because respect is different than an argument and a disagreement. We can argue, disagree, we can fight, whatever, respectfully. Or we can argue, disagree in a disrespectful manner. And that disrespectful manner is something that can't be tolerated at any degree. Because that right there, the space that you leave open for disrespect, is going to be what opens up at all the abuse. It always starts off with some disrespect, some playful disrespect. Everyone's joking around. Oh, I didn't mean it. And then it turns into this, and then it turns into a hit. Then it turns into a push, and it turns into a punch. And now next thing you know, you're in the cycle. So I just want to say, choose yourself first. And always remember this: to the degree that you respect and value yourself is to the degree that your partner or the people that are dating you or talking to you is going to respect you as well. So when you leave in the house, I want you to really pay attention. How do I feel when I leave the house? What's the level of respect I'm giving myself? Because people pick up on that. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna do, I'm gonna talk a little bit more on these type of things every Friday. I'll be dropping some gems in regard to relationships. So stay tuned on the channel. Make sure that any questions you got, put it in the comments. You can also go to the website, 5dtransformations.com. And if you are interested in that dating and relationship course, very powerful course, it's really for dating and attraction. You're looking to get out in the field and find that person that you desire. This is what the course is. It's a course for you. It breaks down every element, the mindset, the things to understand about attraction, to understand about a partner, to understand about relationships, to make sure it happens right. I mean, this is a very in-depth course. It also shows women the different type of guys that they'll be experiencing and how to understand them. Same thing with the guys. It breaks down the different levels of, the men in the dating world and how they navigate and just understanding where you may be relative to them. I mean, it's a really dope course. But for my relationship people, I'm going to be looking out for y'all too. So just make sure y'all stay in 5D Transformations, and I'm going to be dropping some gems for y'all. I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.